So Angular, what it is in few words, it's an open source JavaScript framework to build single page applications. It's been created by Google. The first version has been created in 2010, and the new version, which is from Angular 2, so it's a bit complicated in terms of versioning of Angular. But the first version, which is now Angular JS, so has been created in 2010, and the brand new version, which is quite a lot different, which is Angular, now it's Angular 7, but from 2 to 7, it's called Angular, which is the new Angular, and it's been created in 2017. So the idea is really to have a framework that has been designed and built from the beginning for mobile and desktop. So it's optimized and responsive from a UI standpoint as well. The good news is that you can use TypeScript instead of JavaScript. TypeScript is, by the way, it's developed and maintained by Microsoft. So at Google, they have no problem with that. That's cool. It's free and open source. And why I was saying it's a good news, it's because it's a superset of JavaScript, but it's object-oriented programming. So you have classes. You can extend classes. You can implement classes. And it's typed. That's why it's TypeScript. You have types, unlike what you have in JavaScript. So, quick example. So you have, it's if you know object-oriented programming, it's really all what you can do in standard languages. So to me at least it's really a plus compared to other frameworks, because you can really have all the power of the extension of classes. So if you have a complex model and you want to share stuff in your model, you can really rely on this. So the structure is quite simple. So this is the basic structure to launch your first web app with Angular. So the .ts is for TypeScript. And then you have a few, so you have a main.ts to bootstrap your app. Then you have a module, a component, and I will come back to that. And finally, the HTML template. Components in Angular from Angular 2, to me, it's a lot more powerful than AngularJS. To make it short, in a single page application, so here it's Google Analytics. I don't think it's it's based on Angular, but it was just to explain what I mean by components. It's really, you can have components in your web page. It can be big components like this one, for instance, but it can be super small components like this one. And the idea is to reuse all your components in your page and have small chunks of small units of logic that you can build like a big Lego. Okay. And a component, it's quite simple. In fact, it's a combination of those three entities. So it's a template. So the HTML, the view you're gonna show to your user. It's a class. So where you have everything that supports the view. I don't know, fetching data from a backend and showing it in the template. And then you have some metadata. It's not a lot, by the way. The main part of the component is the template and the class. It looks like that. So again, it's very simple. So those are the metadata. We come back to that. And then you have the class supporting the view. So you have a constructor, and you have as well a life cycle of your view, with one which is super important is the ng on init, where you for instance, you're gonna fetch data, you're gonna manipulate the data before showing it to the view. Here what you have, in fact, it's the link between the entities. So between, obviously you are in the class, and then you link it to a view and to a CSS if needed. Okay, and then you have a selector, and I will come back to that on the component. So really, it's very simple. So you can obviously have a lot of methods to fetch data or do whatever logic you need. But this is the basic class you need just to have a component. This is a template. So again, super simple. This is HTML mixed with curly brackets notation. So this is obviously a super simple example, but in fact it's going to be complicated I mean a bit more complicated than that if you have loops. So if you show a list of stuff, then you have ng for, so you're going to iterate and showing your HTML on that. But it's not a lot more complicated than that. So this is a view. And by the way, you have directives as well in Angular. So you can add a pipe and you have a lot of out-of-the-box formatting. I guess we can say formatting of the variable you want to show. So if you want to, you can have a pipe number so that it's well formatted. You can as well say, for instance, here I think it's one from 0 to 1 fraction that you're going to show, and it's going to round the number itself. Or you can even, so this is more for debugging, but you can have a pipe JSON, and you can have a lot of other directives for dates, for all the primary types you have in TypeScript, and you can build your own directive. So if you want to have a special behavior, you can have a pipe bidule, maybe not a pipe bidule, but a pipe something, and have your own behavior. And this is the same for AngularJS, by the way, but here, well, it's very similar compared to the first version of Angular. And here, this is a selector. So this is what you saw here. So if you want to include your component in another component, then you just have to put this selector. You can pass as well objects to this component. So for instance, if you have a component showing a percentage, but you're going to pass the number to show it in the component. Okay, so this is the component. And you have one thing which was the case also for AngularJS. It's the two-way binding of the data. So you can do, just to explain what it means from a view standpoint, you can do stuff like this. So if you modify the variable somewhere, the other places you have, the other places in your view you show this variable is going to be updated live. Voilà. So this is what you have in Angular. I guess, I don't know React, but I guess this is the same in React. You can have a kind of two-way binding like that. Yeah. Okay. And I think this was one of the main issues of the performances of AngularJS. They refactored this binding in Angular from Angular 2 to make it more optimized to avoid impacting the performance of the entire application. Angular requires Node.js from version 8. So this is what you have to install first if you want to get started with Angular, and then you can install something that I don't know if you use it in your Angular application, but I use it a lot. So Angular command line interface. Here you can you just have to install it using npm, so the package manager, and then after this is really if you want to create your first app. With Angular, you just type that, more or less. Yeah, maybe the two first are okay. So it helps you creating your first app, generating new components, so the components you saw, you can just type ng generate component with the component name, and it will create 3 files. So the class, the HTML and CSS. With the right, and it's included in the module, etc. So it's really, well, to me, at least it's a good helper to save time. So this is the structure that you have with your project. I won't go into the details, but basically you have entry points. So this is what I said at the beginning. You have your configuration files with the angular.json and package.json. You have a folder with all your assets, and then your app and your apps modules. So modules in Angular, you can have you can separate your app into modules, and in your modules you have components. So it's really modular in terms of if you make it right from the beginning with the right modules and the right components, you can really. To me, it has a lot of. It's really interesting compared to AngularJS. Okay, Angular Material. So this is what I used in several projects. So do you know Material or Material Design? Yeah. So this is the guidelines from Google to create user interfaces. So so if you go on material.io, you have everything you should do and you should not do to build a good interface according to their guidelines. And Angular Material, it's so this is the URL that you can use to take a look at what they propose. It's a framework from a components standpoint. So you have a set of components for the tables, for the input fields, forms, buttons, etc. And same thing, it's really thought to be easy to use on a smartphone or on a tablet. So you don't have to take care of the responsive part of it. I won't go into the details of that. Just one thing here: you have a theme, so you can, like what we do in Android also. I think you can define very easily a theme with different colors, a different behavior, just for your own use. So this is what you have at the end. So it's here, for instance, it's a form field. So you have a mat input, so material input. You can have a placeholder. You can have a hint, and then you bind it to your model. So I didn't go into the details of the model, but then if you start using it, it's quite easy. And here you have a button. So you have I didn't explain anything on this kind of events, but it's I guess you understand. So if it's a click, then you will call the do stuff method. Okay. So here you have examples of all the components. So for instance, here it's an autocomplete. You have a switch as well. So here you have a checkbox. You have date pickers. And again, by the way, it's Google. I don't know if I say it. So it's a library from Google. So here you have form fields. You have, by the way, it supports all Material 2 form fields, for instance, or buttons with rounding corners coming with Material 2. Voilà, AngularJS to Angular 7, so it's going to be short because this is what I said at the beginning. To me, it has a better performance. It's object-oriented and typed. It's a typed language. So to me, the TypeScript part of the Angular stuff is a big plus. And I really like the way they reshaped the module and components part of it compared to AngularJS. So to me today, and fourth point is that now we have a lot of libraries and open source libraries available. So if you switch, I think it's the perfect timing to switch because it's to me it's mature enough. This is version 7 now, and you can find everything. I remember at the beginning when it was Angular 2, it was not so easy to switch. Voila, so this is Angular, and if you have questions, you can ask me, no problem if you want right after. If you want to have a quick demo of what we can do, I'd be glad to show you that. So this is my Twitter. No?